Hi everyone, welcome to Focal Point. Our topic for this week is
Paul's mission and his message.
So, as a pastor, I am sure that sometimes it can get kind of difficult to get your message across.
Yes, it can be. Yes.
So I got some advice for you. Just be creative.
Okay.
For example, rather than preaching an entire sermon about the Sabbath, this group, they took a couch, put it in the middle of a crowded city, and reintroduced the concept of rest.
Wow.
Sabbath message, done.
Okay.
Another group, rather than trying to force their non-Christian friends to walk through the church doors, which they were kind of hesitant about, they created this concept called simple church. No frills, back down to the basics, very, very, very simple. Very, very, very effective.
Wow.
Another group, they realized, hey, everyone who's anyone is online and all over social media, so why not take the message on those platforms? They're called the God Stop. Holla. So you see, a little creativity goes a very long way.
Yes. And I totally agree with you. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but what's the point?
Oh, the point is that God wants us to be creative with our witnessing so that everyone can benefit.
And there's a text that goes along with that. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 24. It explains to us that non-believers and believers must get the same message, which is the power and wisdom of God.
And you know what? Even though they're getting the same message, we must tailor our message so that it can benefit everyone for their situation and their circumstance.
So a classic example of that is Paul. He knew his people. He knew how to get the message across.
He did.
He understood that non-Christians and Christians, they start at different points,
True.
but they still need the same message. But he was very effective in getting the message across to both Christians and non-Christians.
And that is so true. You know why? He used analogies that people can relate to. For example, war and races, stuff that the people knew about already. For example, 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7 says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race and I have remained faithful. You see how people can relate to that?
Yeah. And if you realize it, this makes people then look at the message and look at God and say, hey, this is actually fun.
Yeah, it's doable.
It's doable.
Yep.
And that brings us to our 3 focal points. Focal point number 1, God communicates his message to different people in many ways.
Focal point number 2, no matter how creative your message gets, make sure that God is always at the center.
Focal point number 3, choose to be open
To creative ways of witnessing.
Nice.
But you know, we can get creative and take the message to different types of people, but how far must we really go?
Well, we're going to be looking at that next week, but we're going to be asking another question.
Must the whole world hear? Contact us via Facebook and Instagram at The God Stop, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.